everyone, Ivy League Gaming here, and today we're playing Watcher of Realms. For today's video, I'm joined again by Fastidious. Welcome, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me, Ivy. Excited to do this.
Yes, we have lots of fun topics to talk about, but for today's video, we're actually going to start off positive. Some ray of sunshine, why not? What do we love about this game? What caught our attention early? What impressed us as we continue to play? What are the reasons that we tell people we like this game? There's so many. It's actually quite surprised me
There are a
overall,
lot.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, when I was thinking of this list, I was like, let me just try to keep to like 5 or 6. Otherwise, it's going to go on forever. So,
It's a great surprise when I found this game from a sponsorship. I didn't expect to like it. I thought I was gonna hate it, honestly. And then it surprised me. So that's how half my games I've played, almost all of them, honestly. Started as a sponsorship, didn't expect to like it, and kept playing. So here we are.
awesome.
All right, so let's start off. I'm going to start off with a thing that caught my eye right away, and that involves the summoning system. Now, we're not going to look at these banners. I'm actually going to start with something super fun that a lot of games just don't do well or not interestingly enough. And the summon animations. When you pull a hero and you get this badass, awesome, interesting entrance, and you're like so excited, especially if you're new and you don't know who it is yet. There's some really just fun hype to that. And it's just better than just like, okay, you summon someone, cool, great. It just adds a huge element and shows off how great the graphics are. I love all the cinematics in this game for sure. What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. They definitely like put the cinematic in cinematic. Like this Hex one is crazy. Like I don't really get hyped for like these kind of visual things, but when they released this on YouTube, this trailer of Hex, I was like, that is badass.
And even
Um,
just the simple summon, right? Like, I like the spin of the die. I just pulled one
I do.
random. But I think that's fun. It kind of, and then how when it comes to legendary, you can tell that the purple blends a little
Oh
earlier,
yeah.
and you're like, oh, legendary, legendary.
It's such a silly thing. Like I put out a video because people always ask me
I
how does
know.
Ivy, how do you tell? And I was like, oh, let me show people. And like people are like, why are you doing this? Who cares? You're gonna find out. I was like, I don't know, but it's so fun to know.
Everyone asks about it all the
It's
time. I
so
get it
fun to
all the
know.
time.
Yeah. And when you're like us and we've done combined 30 or 40,000 summons for viewers and stuff, like you get used to what everything looks like. So it's pretty cool.
Although the only one that's not cool with the basic summon is the ancient summoning. They're so boring. Oh my god. So
It's
boring.
only been twice, I think, maybe 3 times that we've had Ancients since I started playing this game. I think 3 times, and at every time, I can't help myself. I spend half the time talking about how lame the animation is.
Me
Like,
too, me too.
they hype it as, like, the ultimate end game pay-to-win thing. You think it would
So
be, like, the
boring.
most exciting. It's so boring. I likened it to, like, I didn't play mobile video games in, like, 2010, but this must be what they were like.
I agree completely.
Yeah.
So on the summoning topic, we have lots more to talk about, don't we?
We do. I mean, it is a gotcha game, and this game has summons and it does them very well. If I can pick one up, I would say I've been really blown away by the banners. I feel like every weekend, every banner is a banger. This weekend specifically, you just had the picture of Kneza and Kriya. This might be like
Yeah,
the
that one's
first like
boring.
L banner. However, we're also getting a 2x the same weekend, and we're getting a 1+1, like a pull one, get one. So even when they might swing and miss a bit, they have like an amazing safety net of just throwing other cool stuff at us. And I don't know, I can't remember. I played a lot of gotcha games, and I can't remember something where you'd have heroes of the quality of like Hex, then or Hatsut, then Hex, then Zealatu, just boom, boom, boom. I think my first weekend
I
was
agree.
Arrogance. My second, it's just crazy, right?
Yeah, and when it comes to some of the best ones, like Hatsa, it was not only a 10 times, but it was a 2
That's
times at the
true.
exact same time. Like, would
That's
Raid
true.
Shadow Legends just give you a Trunda on a 2 times with a 10 times? No, that's never gonna happen. But they
Yeah.
did, and I think that's amazing.
Yeah, I do want to speak to one thing because I've done like a lot of research into the rates in this game, and people will be like, the
Oh,
10x
yeah.
isn't real, blah blah blah. But even if the rates are uneven, which I'm convinced and I think I've proven they are,
They are.
the 10x will still be uneven between Ezreal and Hatsit if Ezreal's more likely, but you're still
Yeah.
10 times more likely to get Hatsit. And I mean, we both did tons of summons for viewers that weekend, and we both saw a lot of Hatsit. So like they do work. I'm sorry if they don't
They
work for
do.
everyone, but then it wouldn't be a gotcha game if everyone just was guaranteed Hatsit or something.
Exactly. I agree. Yeah, speaking of I guess rates and everything, and the amount of summons we actually can do surprises me in this game
Yeah,
too, right? So not only
it's
do they just
crazy.
give us lots of options to use our summons with, which I like, and I like that it's only on the weekends. It's not like throwing them all middle of the week, constantly confusing us. It's just the weekends, pretty much. But we get a lot. Like I've got 81. I didn't buy any of those except for the
Yeah.
battle pass. If there was a few on the battle pass, that's it.
Well, I'll
But
tell you right now, I didn't buy
81,
any. I didn't buy any, and I have 76 right now.
exactly.
I mean, they're just so generous giving out summons and diamonds, right? They just come in left and right. Every weekend, I think we both probably deplete our summons to 0, and then you're like back at like 40 or 50, or when you have a Halloween event like this, like 70 or 80.
Yeah, I think on like the worst of weekends where there's not anything special, you might have only 30 or 40. But that's like, I feel like the worst of weekends or weeks, I mean, sorry, like coming from one to another. If you pulled up until Sunday and then you stopped, that's like probably the worst I've seen. It's still having 30 or 40. And then we're just talking rare summons, not talking about diamonds you've saved,
Yeah, that's a great
selling the
transition into
rares.
diamonds
You sell the rares,
because
you get more diamonds. Like,
yeah, like, and if you're in like, if you just are fiendishly dying to summon that weekend, you're probably gonna have maybe not the content creator stockpile that you have on your screen right now, but like you get 200 diamonds. I feel like at least every other day from the guild boss.
yeah,
You're not even that high, and I can't remember what it was like in other games like Raid, but it definitely wasn't 200 gems. It had to be 30 or 50, right? And like I feel like at
yeah.
least 4 or 5 times a week from one of my 4 chests, I'm getting 200 diamonds, which is
And
nuts.
I got this. I got a legendary crystal from Guild Boss or yesterday, so it
Must be
definitely
nice.
happens. It's so funny. I think like me, Odd One, and then a couple of my viewers, like, oh, I got one of those today. Oh, I got one too. Oh, I got one too. Like, I feel like there was rigged raids yesterday. I don't know what it was.
Yeah. I need
Not
some
for
of those
you.
rates.
Uh,
Not for me. I'm on a cold streak, but I've gotten like 2 of those in like not even 3 months, so that feels pretty fair.
there is one thing I want to talk about regarding
These
these summon events. Like, okay, we're talking about summon events. There's so many things. Uh, this actually kind of a different transition, but involving the devs actually listening. So we have one of these 1+1 events coming up, right? Um,
Oh,
the
this is a great
first
point.
the
Yeah,
first
I know what
time
you're gonna
they
say.
ever did this, it's called a surprise invocation of spirits, and oh, they surprised us. Friday, everyone blasted all their summons on a 2 times event. Saturday, they surprised us with a new event right after everyone had no summons left. We were furious. I made a huge video about it, got a lot of views. I was so mad. I was almost in tears because I was like literally that upset because I was like, it's over. Like, I'm not going to support this game. That's trash. I'm not going to support it. Who cares? I don't want to support companies like this. I'm
If
sick of it,
we
you know?
if we want to pull back the curtain a bit, this was like
Yeah.
right before I started playing, and you and I, just having kind of known each other from Raid, made a collab really quickly for when I started making content. So shout out to Ivy for helping me out with that amazing video. But one of the first things between filmings that you mentioned was, they're doing a lot of things right, but they're not doing everything right. And you went off about that again in a
It
private
was
call. So
so
yeah,
bad. I was,
yeah,
but they've listened. That's
yeah,
it. Like
but
every time. So this happened. They put out an apology. They gave us little compensation. And every time ever since, the second it shows up where you could see it on the calendar, it's there. Like
yeah,
on
it's true. This
Tuesday
showed
when
up
it
on
pops,
Wednesday, I think, right?
it's,
Yeah, Tuesday,
I think
Wednesday.
Tuesday. Yeah, because Monday you can see
Awesome.
Friday. And then Tuesday
Yeah,
you
there you
can
go.
see Saturday. Oh, no, you're right. Sunday. It might have not been till Monday. Oh, Wednesday. But
Yeah.
yeah.
But even
Yeah.
still,
Like,
it's enough time. Like you'd have to be
yeah.
a madman
To
to have
give a
been pulling
heads
on
up.
Tuesday anyway, right? So it didn't affect most
Exactly.
people's saving. Yeah, I mean, and I would say quickly for us, it's awesome because like for pulls parties and summoning sessions, right? It's like this is
We
now
need
we
to
get a whole
know.
event. So
Yeah.
it's smart for the devs because it's good for the community and good for the game. Like I think both of us are gonna have a lot of fun on YouTube Live tomorrow with that.
And it's not just devs listening about stuff like a summoning event. They've listened with so much other stuff. Like I could tell we have the new Guild Wars out, and everything I've seen from the Forerunner server, the notes, the surveys, they want our feedback. They
Yeah.
want to improve it. They want us to have fun. It's not like Raid Shadow Legends as an example, where they're like, here's our new content. We don't care if you don't like it. This is what it is.
Yeah, I actually on that topic, it's crazy how they listen because I was making 4 or 5 days ago. It came out like 2 or 3 days ago. A video on Guild Wars with Ray Panassus. Did you just get him?
Yeah, I don't know where he came from.
Oh my god, that's another cool thing that they have. I love the Demon Soldiers, but I was making a video with Ray Panassus from
Amazing
from
video.
Dragon Slayer's
Everyone
community.
needs to watch that. Amazing
Thank
video.
you. But while we were talking between filmings and stuff when we're chatting, and similar to like the story I was giving with you, he was like, "Yeah, they are gonna have to make this change, this change, this change." And like while we're talking, he's like, "Oh, Forerunner server patch notes. Oh, it's actually down right now. They're doing a Guild War change." And then like fast forward 10 hours and Mob Bucket has a video on all the crazy great things they did based on the
Exactly.
feedback
Yep.
of people like Mob Bucket and Ray. So super cool. Yeah. If I can say one more thing, you did a tiny bit. I probably did a big bit of complaining with the Zealot skin. It really disappointed me. I
Oh
hate
yeah.
stats with skins. I love skins for anyone that like. I think it's really cool, and I love pay to win aesthetic. I want the game to make money. I want it to continue forever. Like I'm all for it. But I did give a lot of negative feedback about this, and there were people being like, "You're a hater. You're gonna hurt the game." And I'm like, "No, I'm trying to help the game." And it's because of this, like whatever tiny platform I have or slightly bigger platform some other people have, if we raise our voices about this, they listened and they responded. And it seems like these new skins that are coming for Christmas and the special ones with Abomination, all those, from what it sounds like,
Mhm.
if they have stats, they're going to be low. It seems like they're listening. So that's why we choose to raise our voice, because you might not be used to it with other, I know I wasn't, Ivy, but with other games, I wasn't used to the devs listening, but it seems like the devs listen.
Yeah, exactly. They actually do. And the good thing is, people freaked out about the skins, yes, but we do know that Moonton from their other games, I mean, not everyone would know that, of course, but from their other games, they do the same thing. They put these little baby pointless stats that they might as well not put on them in the first place, which is a weird part, but they never increase them. That's just how it is. Like, they're super low, pointless stats, so just pretend they're not there, pretty much.
Yeah. I will formally say if they stay this low, I'll never complain about it again.
Okay, I like that.
For me, the fear is they start at 0.7 to say like, what can we get away with? And then the next thing you know,
yeah.
it is 7.0. And then it's like, okay, now we got a problem.
Yeah, I guess they moved like, did they have the picture of the other skins? No, they got rid of that now, but yeah, lots more to come at least, and at least they're going to be doing some ones for free. So they should have done that first though, but oh well, it's a little too late now.
Yeah,
All right.
definitely.
So the other, I guess we're talking a lot about the events and stuff. So that's one thing that we need to talk about that we really like in this game, right? The events.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we'll probably talk about this to finish off maybe with tower defense, but the only tower defense game I played before was Arknights, if anyone's familiar. Cool game. I never got like so into it, but for like a while when Raid was like the game I was obsessed with, Arknights was my side game. And the one thing Arknights did that this game is totally doing as well is just knocking it out of the park with events. Like proper theming, proper hype, crazy generous rewards, free to play, accessible to the max, maybe almost too easy, as I've mentioned on my channel. I do wish they had at least one kind of hard mode. But overall, I mean, this is the third event. I don't know if there was any before I joined Ivy, but I've seen the Captain Reeve event, the Treasures in the Deep, the Valeria Wild Sand, and now this one for Halloween. I like all of them. And like, look, these rewards, everyone will get most of them if
Really
you're playing
good
actively.
rewards. Yeah. And they finally listened again. They listened. They gave us real gold again. This is 5 million gold we can get. Finally, not 500,000, which is what they were doing before. 5 million. I'm like, okay, I can live with that.
Yeah, it's like night and day, right? That's so much more gold. That's like a whole event's worth of gold.
That helps someone complete that Tales of the Smith event for the fusion, right?
But like, look at those rare summons. They're 5 event currency, 5 candy wrappers.
Boom.
That's crazy. So 50, and yeah, you can max it out right now, Ivy. Like,
right now.
That's 10 summons. Imagine, I'm not going to say another name, but let's say I was to mention Raid Shadow Legends. Like,
they're the best example.
Imagine if they just handed you 10 rares. Like, imagine
that.
They
never do that. And this game does that constantly. And speaking of events, like we always have a login event, right? Like is there a login right now? I don't think there's a login right now. No.
But we get one like every 3 weeks or something.
Yeah, they're always doing some sort of login events. And the last 2 that they did around their 5 million download celebration was ancient summoning crystals, like giving away void shards, and legendaries, like giving away secrets, you know?
5 or 10 ancient summoning crystals, which are like supposed to be the ultimate pay to win thing, and they just gave it to us. It's crazy.
Yeah, and they're always doing these random little temporary things too, with just some bonus rewards along the way. Sometimes they're not that impressive, but hey, it's still free stuff, and it's not just do an event, like go farm something and that's it. All right, so I guess that kind of the events, they also lead us into the topic of, like you were talking about, the types of games you've played, like tower defense. And this game scared me away in the beginning because of the word tower defense. That alone, just knowing it was that style, I was not interested. I didn't really like that idea. It sounded intimidating, honestly. And I did find the game a tiny bit intimidating, like, oh, this is going to be hard. But I really found myself enjoying it, and I liked the challenge, and it's totally different. I feel like it's a really good spin on the gacha genre right now compared to all the other Western fantasy style games.
I'm trying to. I had the same reaction as you. Like I was playing Eternal Evolution, which I think was also your main game a few months ago.
Yeah, I did that quite a
And
bit.
my like closest friend in the game, like my number one guildie, who was a machine, he was running our server. He had just left like cold turkey, and I was like, "Why did you leave?" He's like, "Oh, I'm playing Watch of Realms. It's better." And I was like, "What? Tower? You left our game for tower defense?" I couldn't believe it. I was like, "I will try it out of like respect for him," and you guys can see where I'm at now. I love it, and I wish I could put my finger on why I like this so much more than Arknights, because I didn't. I liked everything about Arknights except for a lot of the tower defense stuff. Maybe it's the graphics, maybe it's some of the interaction, maybe it's the camera angle, but yeah, I love it. And I will say, I know you like to do a lot of live content. I like stream all the time, and I like doing account takeovers. It's perfect for that because it's always a new challenge.
Yeah,
It
it's a
keeps things super
challenge.
fresh, and I think it's way more engaging for me as a player, and I think also for viewers, right? Because it's like, how are you going to crack it this time? Whereas it's like with Raid, I used to do tons of sorry to mention Raid again. I mean, I respect Raid for sure. It was my favorite game for a long time. But like with with Clan Boss, I keep mixing it up. But with Clan Boss, like that, all the time, people are like, "Can you do a Clan Boss takeover?" And it was me just like pulling up some Hell Hades optimizer, pulling up Deadwood
Mm-hmm.
Jedi
Exactly.
speeds, and just grinding it for 3 hours and just doing math and just moving numbers around. Whereas this, it's like there is a bit of finesse, and I think that's really fun.
Yeah, I agree. It surprised me. I didn't expect to like this style. But I think Hell Hades said it in one of my collabs with him about like it's not like a lot of the tower defense. It's like usually you have your boards and you have to kind of build up the board as well, not just your or like you get bonuses added to your characters as the battle progresses and
That's
that kind of
true.
stuff. This is different. It's really a really different style compared to some others maybe. So maybe I think it just does the right amount of blend of the gacha we're familiar with semi like that semi real time battle versus turn based. It's kind of got a little bit of a blend of everything that
Yeah.
makes it feel a little bit easier to understand or catch, maybe compared to some of those other ones that are just completely different.
Yeah, at least with some other tower defense I played, they didn't actually have like a gear system. They would have like promotions, they'd have a
Oh
level up,
yeah, I've
but
heard.
no like
Yeah,
actual customizable builds. Like that was a shortcoming I saw. And this, I
yeah,
think a lot of us that play these games do like this is my arrogance versus Ivy's arrogance, and they're different and
exactly.
special, you know. So maybe that's the difference, but I love it. It's great.
Yeah, I agree. I think there's one more thing I want to mention before we
Please.
wrap up our things we love. And that's kind of I guess related to everything, the events, the banners, the playstyle, everything. I feel like this game is really great at catering to all levels, free to play, low spend, whales. As a free to play player, you can play with rares and epics and have fun. You will get legendaries. This is not the kind of game like I love Dragonair, but you do not get many legendaries. And this is not like that. This is the opposite. It's very easy to get legendaries in this game, and anyone that says otherwise is just not playing enough or
For
not
sure.
converting their diamonds for summons, and that's a them problem, not a game problem. They
Yeah.
let you get stuff, and I feel like you can completely enjoy the game 100% free to play. You could spend $5 here and there and really get a good bang for your buck, or you can crack it out on all these banners and feel like you're the best in the game. Like, I feel like everyone can have a good time.
For sure. And what I like about this game, which was not possible in other games I played, is you could reach actual end game free to play. Because
Yeah,
of course they'll always add new content, but because you can move gear around for free, you don't need
true.
like in other games where you can't, you need like 50 heroes built out and you're not going to move their gear around. So that means you need, let's just say it's 5 pieces like in this game, 50, that's 250 pieces and they all need to synergize and be good. With this game, let's be honest, if you're willing to get sweaty and move your gear around all the time, you could have like 12 or 15 end game sets with like ancient mythics, which yeah, it
True.
could take you half a year or a year or a year and a half, but it will happen. So like that's super cool to me.
And they are supposed to be adding gear presets of some sort to the game as well. So that's going to be a lot helpful. Which actually, that's a perfect transition for our video that's going over on your channel, right? We're going to
Yes,
talk about
yes,
some things that we know are coming or that we hope are coming. Things we're looking
yes.
forward to and hoping to see in Watcher of Realms' future over on his
Yeah.
channel. So if you haven't watched that already, make sure you go over there.
Yeah, like it's Ivy's an expert on what's to come. She's the Q&A expert. So we have that, and then we also have our hopes and dreams. So we'll see.
Oh yeah, we have so much. We have a little bit
Yeah.
of everything. Alrighty, I think that wraps it up pretty well though. Thank you for joining me today, Fastidious.
Thank you so much, Ivy. It's always a pleasure.
And thank you guys for watching. We'll see you in the next video.